shares similarities with other ancient myths that depict the downfall of great civilizations. On the other hand, there are those who believe that Plato's description of Atlantis was based on something real. The idea of a continent large enough to rival the known world, situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, this sparks the imagination. Could an advanced society have existed long before recorded history? Was Atlantis a real landmass now swallowed by the ocean due to a natural disaster? Some have pointed to geological evidence that suggests the possibility of a massive landmass, now submerged beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Then, there are those who argue that Plato's tale is purely allegorical, a mythical tale designed to provoke thought, not to be taken literally. Could Plato have simply been crafting a parable about the rise and fall of civilizations, rather than documenting a real event? The debate continues, but one thing is clear. Atlantis has become a symbol of something much larger than its geographic location. The question remains, was it a forgotten city or merely a product of ancient imagination? Plato wasn't the only one to mention Atlantis. Over the centuries, many other cultures have hinted at the existence of a lost, advanced civilization. But what do the ancient descriptions of Atlantis really tell us? According to Plato, Atlantis was a rich and powerful kingdom, with its capital city built on concentric rings of land and water, gleaming with gold and silver. The city was described as a paradise, its residents skilled in agriculture, engineering, and craftsmanship. The walls of the city were adorned with beautiful temples, and at its center stood a grand temple dedicated to Poseidon, the god who, according to the legend, was said to be the founder of Atlantis. Plato even describes the Atlanteans as possessing technology far beyond what Greece had at the time. They had advanced weaponry, hydraulic systems, and the ability to manipulate the environment with precision. Yet, as their power grew, so did their greed. Atlantis, according to Plato, fell into decadence and arrogance, eventually provoking the wrath of the gods. As punishment, Atlantis was submerged beneath the ocean in a single day and night, its riches and knowledge lost to time. But is this just a romanticized version of an ancient society? Were Plato's descriptions intended to depict the rise and fall of civilizations, rather than a literal account? Could his vivid portrayal of Atlantis have been a reflection of his hopes for what an ideal society might look like? Could Atlantis really be hiding beneath the ocean, just waiting to be discovered? For centuries, this theory has fascinated explorers, scientists, and dreamers alike. The idea that an entire city or even a continent was swallowed by the sea in a single cataclysmic event is both terrifying and tantalizing. In recent years, underwater archaeology and sonar technology have sparked renewed interest in the search for Atlantis. Beneath the waves, there have been numerous claims of underwater ruins that some believe could be the remnants of Atlantis. One of the most famous is the Bimini Road, a submerged formation off the coast of the Bahamas. Some argue that the alignment and structure of the stones are too precise to be natural. Could they be part of a forgotten city? Skeptics, however, argue that these structures are simply natural formations that have been misinterpreted. Elsewhere in the Atlantic, sonar scans have uncovered mysterious underwater structures, some of which appear to be man-made. Could these be the remains of an ancient civilization that was once part of Atlantis? Or are they just a coincidence, another case of hopeful thinkers seeing patterns where none exist? The idea of Atlantis submerged under the ocean is compelling, but without concrete evidence, it's still a mystery. The ocean has hidden many secrets beneath its depths. Could one of them be the lost city of Atlantis? The search for Atlantis has given birth to some of the wildest and most diverse theories in the world of history and archaeology. From the Caribbean to Antarctica, some have argued that Atlantis is hidden in plain sight, while others believe it's a distant memory left buried deep beneath the ocean. Let's dive into some of the most popular and far-fetched theories that have shaped our search for the lost city. One theory suggests that Atlantis could be located in the Mediterranean, particularly around the island of Santorini, known for its ancient volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE. The eruption is believed to have wiped out the Minoan civilization, which shares several similarities with Plato's descriptions of Atlantis, including advanced technology and a powerful navy. Could the Minoans have inspired Plato's tale? Another theory positions Atlantis in the Caribbean, particularly around the Bahamas and Cuba. Proponents of this theory point to submerged structures like the Bimini Road and other unexplained underwater formations, arguing that they are remnants of a once great civilization. Some even go as far as to place Atlantis in Antarctica. Could the icy continent have been home to a thriving civilization before the climate shifted dramatically? This theory draws on the idea that ancient maps show landmasses in Antarctica before the ice caps fully formed. As the possibilities stretch across the globe, the search for Atlantis becomes more than just a historical inquiry. It's a global adventure of discovery and imagination. But what if Atlantis was never a city at all, but something far more symbolic? Why do so many theories about Atlantis point to the Atlantic Ocean? Plato himself described Atlantis as lying beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the ancient name for the Strait of Gibraltar. The Atlantic seems to be at the heart of the mystery, but what makes this ocean so significant in the search for the lost city? The location itself is key. The Atlantic Ocean is vast, covering about 20% of Earth's surface. For centuries, this part of the world was largely unexplored. Could Atlantis have been a large island or continent, now submerged beneath the waves due to natural disasters, such as earthquakes or rising sea levels? And if it was, why has no trace of it been found? Another clue lies in the nature of the ocean itself. The Atlantic is known for its unpredictable and sometimes violent weather patterns. Storms, currents, and even mysterious disappearances, such as the Bermuda Triangle, which some believe is tied to Atlantis. Could this strange phenomenon be linked to an ancient cataclysm? One that destroyed Atlantis and created the eerie conditions that still persist? The mystery of Atlantis and the Atlantic Ocean is far from solved. It's an enduring puzzle, one that continues to capture the imagination of explorers, historians, and adventurers. Is the ocean hiding more than we know? Are we looking in the right place? The legend of Atlantis has captivated not just historians, but artists, filmmakers, and storytellers throughout history. From ancient texts to modern blockbusters, the myth has evolved and taken on new life, inspiring countless works of art, literature, and film. But what is it about this lost city that continues to fascinate people today? In the early 20th century, Atlantis became a central theme in popular fiction, with authors like Edgar Cayce and Charles Berlitz expanding the idea of a lost civilization with mystical powers. Cayce, often called the sleeping prophet, even claimed that he could access memories of past lives, one of which was in Atlantis. According to his visions, the Atlanteans possessed advanced technology and spiritual knowledge far beyond what we can imagine. In the world of cinema, Atlantis has been portrayed in everything from Disney's animated Atlantis, The Lost Empire, to the action-packed Aquaman in the DC universe. These films depict the city as an advanced, otherworldly place with futuristic technology and a rich, complex history. The allure of Atlantis in popular culture lies in the combination of mystery, danger, and the possibility of a civilization with powers and knowledge we've yet to discover. The myth of Atlantis has also influenced philosophical and spiritual movements, with many seeing it as a symbol of humanity's lost wisdom or a metaphor for the cycle of rise and fall in civilizations. How has Atlantis shaped modern culture? And why does the idea of this lost city continue to inspire wonder? Could the Minoans have inspired the legend of Atlantis? This theory connects the advanced Minoan civilization on the island of Crete with Plato's description of a once great society lost to the sea. The Minoans were known for their incredible achievements in art, architecture, and engineering, qualities that mirror Plato's portrayal of the Atlanteans. The Minoan civilization flourished around 1450 BCE, centuries before Plato's time, and they were a powerful naval force in the Mediterranean. Their sophisticated palaces, like the one at Knossos, featured intricate frescoes, plumbing systems, and advanced technologies for their time. But it wasn't just their achievements that stand out, it was their sudden and mysterious collapse. The eruption of the Thera volcano, around 1600 BCE, is believed to have devastated the Minoan civilization, with volcanic ash spreading across the island and causing widespread destruction. The destruction of Thera shares eerie similarities with Plato's account of Atlantis, an advanced civilization wiped out in a single day by a catastrophic event. Could the Minoans have been Plato's inspiration? Perhaps the destruction of their society became the foundation of the Atlantis myth. Some even argue that the story of Atlantis is a distorted memory of the Minoan collapse, passed down through generations. While the connection between the Minoans and Atlantis remains speculative, it's clear that the fall of the Minoan civilization has all the hallmarks of an ancient disaster, one that could easily have been woven into the legend of Atlantis. What if the destruction of Atlantis was more than just a myth? Could it have been based on a real catastrophic event, a massive flood, an earthquake, or even a tsunami that wiped out an entire civilization? Plato's account of Atlantis describes a great and sudden downfall, where the island was submerged in a single day and night due to the anger of the gods. But what could have caused such a disaster? Flood myths are found in many cultures around the world, from the biblical flood of Noah to the story of Gilgamesh in ancient Mesopotamia. Some believe these stories are reflections of real events, catastrophic floods that occurred thousands of years ago, leaving deep impressions on the collective consciousness of ancient societies. Could the fall of Atlantis have been such a flood? Geological evidence suggests that large-scale flooding and tsunamis have occurred in ancient times. The eruption of Thera, for example, created massive waves that could have devastated coastal settlements, not unlike the fate Plato described for Atlantis. Some have also suggested that the impact of an asteroid or comet could have triggered a global flood, with devastating consequences for any civilization that stood in its path. Could Atlantis have been the victim of such a catastrophic event? Its advanced society destroyed in an instant? While we may never know the full story, the idea of a world-changing flood is a compelling piece of the puzzle. Plato's influence on the Atlantis story cannot be overstated. His writings in Timaeus and Critias are the primary sources that have shaped our understanding of the lost city. But what exactly did Plato intend when he wrote about Atlantis? Was he recounting a real historical event, or was he crafting a philosophical allegory? Plato introduces Atlantis and Timaeus as part of a larger discussion on the ideal state. He uses the story of Atlantis as a cautionary tale about the dangers of power, greed, and moral decay. The rise and fall of Atlantis, according to Plato, serves as a warning to his contemporaries, the Athenians, about the consequences of hubris. In this sense, Atlantis may not have been a literal place, but rather a symbol for the destruction that can come from unchecked ambition. However, the details Plato provides are incredibly vivid, descriptions of a vast and powerful civilization with an advanced navy, intricate engineering, and remarkable riches. These specifics have led many to wonder if there's some kernel of truth buried within the allegory. Could Plato have been drawing from ancient myths or even a lost historical memory? Plato himself never claims to have been an eyewitness to Atlantis. He says the story came from his ancestor Solon, who supposedly heard it from Egyptian priests. But did these stories carry a grain of truth, or were they merely products of ancient imagination? The role of Plato in shaping the Atlantis legend remains a mystery in itself. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence in the search for Atlantis lies in the waters off the coast of the Bahamas, the Bimini Road. This submerged formation, discovered in 1968 near Bimini Island, consists of large, flat stones arranged in a pattern that some claim is too deliberate to be natural. Could this be the long-sought-after remains of Atlantis, or is it simply a geological oddity? The Bimini Road has sparked heated debate among archaeologists and explorers. Proponents of the Atlantis theory argue that the arrangement of stones could be part of an ancient man-made structure, possibly even a road leading into a submerged city. The alignment of the stones, forming a straight line extending out into the ocean, does suggest an unnatural pattern, leading some to wonder if this could be part of a larger lost civilization. However, critics are quick to point out that many underwater formations, including the Bimini Road, can be explained by natural geological processes. The road may be the result of erosion, coral growth, or underwater fault lines. Skeptics argue that the search for Atlantis has led people to see patterns in the seafloor where none exist. Despite the controversy, the Bimini Road remains a tantalizing mystery. If it's truly man-made, could it be a piece of the lost city? Or is it just another example of our tendency to romanticize the unknown? In recent years, the search for Atlantis has taken a new turn with exciting discoveries in the Caribbean. Underwater exploration has unveiled a number of mysterious structures that some believe could be remnants of the lost city. These discoveries, although not definitively linked to Atlantis, have reignited the debate and sparked a renewed interest in the theory that the Caribbean could be hiding ancient ruins beneath its turquoise waters. One of the most notable finds came from sonar scans of the ocean floor near the Bahamas, which revealed unusual formations resembling stepped pyramids and other architectural structures. These structures appear to be man-made, with sharp angles and consistent geometric patterns. Could this be the evidence that Atlantis actually existed and was located in the Caribbean? Some researchers suggest that these underwater ruins could be the remnants of a civilization that once flourished in the region, only to be submerged by rising sea levels or a natural disaster. Moreover, other expeditions in the Caribbean have uncovered large, square-shaped structures with what seem to be roads and terraces, which resemble descriptions of the advanced architecture that Plato spoke of. While these findings are still under investigation, they have added fuel to the fire for those who believe that Atlantis was not a myth, but a real place lost to time and the ocean. Could these new discoveries in the Caribbean finally be the breakthrough the search for Atlantis has been waiting for? The Azores, a group of islands located in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, have long been suggested as a potential location for Atlantis. Situated around 1,000 miles west of Portugal, these islands